Welcome to another Brian Decoded episode. And this time around, I want to talk about the persuasiveness and the volume. And what do you become when you have your own channel of distribution? So, what are the things that are going to happen in your life when there is an inflection point, when the volume of the eyeballs, of the attention that you hold, is reaching the destination that is persuasively converting your audience into customers? That is something that came to me after a lot of butting heads. So when I'm looking back at my entrepreneurial journey, I feel I've been doing things the hard way. Is I haven't truly understood how a person is making a buying decision. Up until like maybe 2 years ago, I didn't even have a sales process, right? So I would hop on a sales call, literally, I wouldn't know what I'm doing, and I would close a person. Like, I would figure out like what he needs, me making sure that I'm paying attention to his needs, delivering a proposal, exactly what the person wanted. Sometimes it would go, sometimes it wouldn't. I would try to price the job fairly. And a lot of times my personal hurdles were me deriving my sense of self-worth from how good of a sales call did I do. And that was brutal. If you're letting a sales call dictate your self-worth, you're in for a disappointment. You have to have the inward sense. So one thing that was a saving grace for me is, I kid you not, I can hop on 5 to 7 sales calls in a day, and I can sell the whole day. Like literally, I remember when I was doing cold emails, I had 6 to 8 phone calls per day. 2 to 3 would be with the new leads, but as I'm getting like new leads to come in, I'm also booking follow-up calls with the past leads. So I remember like having this streak go a couple of weeks. I was exhausted. I was selling the whole day, and I wasn't able to properly follow up with all the leads. So when you have that many leads, like things just fall off the radar. And that was just like a short stint of like 3-4 months that I was doing that, and I closed nothing. So my resilience towards pain is pretty high. I don't think that a lot of people can go through amounts of no that I've gotten. And the thing is, because I didn't know how to sell back then, that was like 2021. And when I say I didn't know how to sell, trust me when I say I didn't know how to sell. There is a difference between order taking. That's not sales. You hop on a call and you take an order. So I was evaluating this guy's sales call this morning, and he was getting critiqued by his coaches or whatnot. I gotta give you this scenario. So he's trying to sell a monthly subscription service, and I think it's like $2,000-3,000. It's literally nothing. And he's trying to sell a subscription service, and the guy is like some other agency owner that's a sales guy. And this guy is not a sales guy. So you can see like two people operating on a different abundance versus scarcity frequency. Amazing to watch. It was a highlight of my day. I'm watching a sales call performed by someone else, and I immediately understand the frame of mind from which these people are operating on. And the thing is, I categorize people in 2 groups: those that feel abundance and those that don't, those that live in a scarcity. And these two energies are, boy, they're so much different. There's a reason why some people are getting courageous. And once you reach that inflection point, that you know how abundant the world is, that and that the sales sometimes is a numbers game, you start to feel how differently a lot of people act that are on this higher frequency. So, and it's all predicated on the number of leads, which I also like to call volume. Just ring the volume up, turn the volume up on the number of conversations that you're doing as a salesperson. Sales is a numbers game. And if you're not getting emotionally attached to the outcome of the sales call, you are blowing up. There's nothing stopping you down. There's nothing holding you down. You're starting to defy the laws of gravity. People that are good in sales and are investing into their own lead flow, they're blowing up. So I think if you're asking me, there are some people that are just naturally gifted at sales. You put them in front of another person, they know exactly what they need to say, they know exactly what not to say. It's my problem. Like to this very day, I talk too much in sales calls. But even as a bad salesperson, that I'm sometimes categorizing myself, I don't even feel like I'm a bad salesperson anymore, but I used to think about myself, and I was a bad salesperson. I wasn't a good salesperson at all. But the thing is, the one thing that made me take off was the fact that I always knew that there was going to be another sales call. And initially, I was always afraid of the outcomes, and sometimes I would get emotionally attached to the lead. And in doing so, I would lose a sale. And a lot of times, I would wonder why. Everything went perfect. And things still go perfect, and I don't close the deal. In other days, like the person just like emails me and I don't even know who they are. I swear to God, like, can you send us the invoice for the proposal that you sent? And I'm like, who's that? So the detachment became really high. And the only thing that helped me stay in the game was focus on having one sales call per day. And that is the foundation of the philosophy that I have in life, that I don't want to overburden myself with too many sales calls. And having just one sales call per day, it's really easy, especially when you have like follow-up sales calls with existing clients, etc. And you get on this momentum, it even becomes easier than you may think. So at the bare minimum, like I had a sales call today, I had a sales call yesterday, I had them over the weekends. Like I'm selling every day. And if I don't, all I have to do is text one of my clients and hop on a call with one of them. So there's literally no possibility of me not deepening an existing relationship or starting a new one. And there's only so much you can do as a single salesperson. There's only so much. So like my whole thought process, like, okay, how do I quadruplicate myself? How do I quadruplicate myself? And how do I scale the number of conversations that are being executed on my behalf? So that is the next level. Like you can hit $1 million of net profit completely by yourself if you have, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years of good sales experience. I didn't have a formal sales training like 10 years into the game. 10 years into the game and 5 years or like 3 years that I was like super active, I didn't have a single training in sales. It was all self-taught through hear me out, Upwork leads. Like if I could have done especially Upwork at the time, like 2015, 2014, where it was a race to the bottom. I was doing projects for $30 an hour. It was insane. And I was doing the work myself. So I was never like selling too much, but I always had this lever. Hey, if I pull this lever, I know that money will come. It is not until last year that I started hyper focusing on other channels. And then I realized there's a bunch of these kids on Twitter, they hop on DMs and they're slaying it. The reason how I'm finding all these people, like my primary sales training that I think that everyone can think about, is that I've been hopping on sales calls where I'm letting other people sell me. And that has been my number one sales training trick that I get for free, that I get all these other people pitching me, and this is how I've been honing in my pitches. And so the last 6 years, like there was 2,500 sales calls that I was on. So that's a lot of sales calls. Like a lot of sales calls. And just looking at it now, knowing that I can blast up the volume, and knowing what needs to happen, that I'm a dangerous machine when I'm on a qualified call, I'm trying to weed out bad prospects before I hop on a call, because my time's so valuable, my energy is so valuable, that getting on a wrong call, blowing my high and getting into a bad energy situation with the prospect is more expensive than not showing up on a call at all. It took experience, right? But I'm glad that everything happened, because now it's becoming so much easier to maintain. It's just so much easier to maintain the flow of the selling. And boy, if I could go back in time and do it all over again, I would. But I would get here where I'm at today in like 20% of the time. And with that being said, I packaged all of these lessons into infinite deals that you can find on my Alpha Efficiency website, get.alphaefficiency.com/infinite deals, where the whole legwork of securing that one sales call per day has been documented and packaged so that you can work less and sell more and make more ultimately. So go to get.alphaefficiency.com/infinite deals. It's currently at $125. I'm working hard on 2 other modules that I'm adding to the course. And once they are added, the price will go up to $250. And just go buy the course, man. Like, go buy the course and make money. Have a good one.